Hi, welcome to the Israel First television program with myself, Martin Blackham, and with my wife, Nathalie Blackham. Great to be with you. The program that looks at Israel, the news, and behind the news, Hebrew roots, and we also look at the Hebrew language, Hebrew letters. And I believe Nathalie is going to be looking at some Hebrew letters today. She's been doing a series, and we're going to do that later in the program. Now, in the news in Israel, we're coming up to Shavuot, the big dairy festival, and so a milk-related news topic is re-milk. Now, that doesn't sound terrible until you do a bit of research. Natalie, Israel's mainstream media are pushing laboratory milk. I'm not talking about powdered milk, which is from dairy, or I'm not talking about goat milk or other types of milk. I'm talking about laboratory gene-altered milk, gene-modified milk. Despite the fact that it's unnecessary, we do not need laboratory milk. We don't want laboratory milk, and we never asked for laboratory milk. However, it's being...
You're right. And also, God has created everything for us on earth, and He said everything is good, and our good cows are giving some good milk to make some good cheese, some good butter. It's true that sometimes goat milk is better for the human because they are more our size, and cows are bigger, so the fat molecule are bigger, and so it's easier to digest the goat milk also for the children. So this is interesting, but it's natural.
Right, but we're not talking about goat milk.
No.
We're talking about laboratory milk, and we're talking about health concerns regarding it. So first of all, it's not good for us because it's gene modified. It's like all this gene modified food. It's not good for you.
And you don't know the consequences
right.
of it.
And they found out there's already concerns being raised in scientific journals about the altered milk. And what we're looking at, the bottom line actually isn't, although the milk is terrible that they're doing this, that it's like Frankenstein milk, that it's made up by man and not by God, it's human creation. But what we're actually looking at is the destruction of Israel's farms and Israel's farming community, Israel's countryside, by world government globalist elites who are just there saying to us, well, what we should eat. If you remember, we were talking in the past about them wanting us to eat bugs and to eat insects, which we shouldn't be eating. Humans shouldn't eat insects. Now, this has gone even further, and it's from a laboratory that they're making this milk. And it's unbelievable. The milk has gone from the laboratory to approval, which we've talked about before, and onto the shelf. It's on Israel's shelves from January 2026 for sale. I think there might have been tests of it before, but yes, it's officially
by restaurants and cafes.
Right, and so now it's going into full-scale distribution.
And I saw people buying it yesterday.
Right.
And it's written on the bottle, bli parrot, which means without cows. And I'm like, it's just like unbelievable.
It's a bit like the alternative meat. Remember, yes, we've talked about that before. Yeah. The printed meat, and they want to promote that people won't eat meat, but they'll eat this plant-made substitute with meat taste. And not many people might even know, first of all, that milk isn't normal milk. It's made in a laboratory. They might not know it's cow-free milk, and they might not even have the time to check. You know how many people are so busy these days. They pull products off the shelf in a supermarket and not realizing what they're buying. So
and it's called Chalav Chadash, which means new milk. But it's not really milk.
No.
Because it's not coming from like an animal.
Yeah, and it's not even honest, because it should say laboratory or substitute milk or milk made from plants. So it should be honest what it is. It's not new milk. It's not milk that's come from a new source, new cows somewhere. It's cow-free, and it's milk which has been, it's substitute milk. And unfortunately, it's on sale in Rami Levy, which is the giant supermarket of Israel. So, and Rami Levy's got branches throughout the country. So people are buying it throughout the country, very sadly. And we don't really know all of the consequences. Now, Real Milk is a developed farm, cultured milk and dairy, and it's being sold. It's being sold as animal-free BLG, which is beta lactoglobulin protein, on Israel's shop shelves, even though BLG is considered a major allergen. BLG may play a role in the transport and accumulation of lipid-soluble compounds like fatty acids and retinoids. Basically, it's not good for you. Remilk recreates the milk proteins by taking the genes that encode them and inserting them into a single-cell microbe, and they are manipulated genetically. Remember, I was saying about genetic modification to express the protein, basically Frankenstein milk. The product is then dried into a powder. Soy is one of the ingredients used in alternative milk. However, research suggests that soy-based foods and a diet high in soy may lead to fertility issues, hormonal imbalance, and lower sperm count. Soy milk also contains a chemical compound called goitrogens.
So do you mean that there is soya in this?
It could be, yeah. But as far as we can ascertain, it could be, and other alternative milks are using soy, and indeed the plant people are, so that could be one of the ingredients. But it's bad for you, for your thyroid gland. We know that there's BLG in it anyway. That's publicly acknowledged. Now, lab milk sparks allergies and additives they contain also create an adverse reaction in your guts, leading to bloating, pain, digestive issues, and gas. And, you know, the thing is, it's even worse at this time of year of Shavuot, because it is a time when Israelis go dairy mad.
Yes, but you have to explain. It's because Shavuot is the giving of the Torah, and I can't remember, I think they forget to wake up or something like that, and now it's like they are having more milk for, well, you have to do a bit of research. Do you remember why it's just like that?
I have no idea.
It's something about not preparing the, I don't know. I
don't know what the connection with milk is, but it is a dairy festival. It's a one-day holiday in Israel.
Cheesecake.
For Shavuot, and they celebrate by indulging in rich dairy meals, including, as Nathalie says, cheesecake, blintzes, and fresh cheeses. Thus, the demand for milk and dairy increases. And why is that a problem? Because they could end up picking these re-milk bottles of laboratory milk into their shopping. And it's another example of the One World government forcing us to eat man-made food and not the food that has been created as part of the creation. And it's part of a trend. One of the reasons we talk about it on the Israel First television program is because there is a trend to push alternatives onto us, the alternative meat, the alternative milk, and even the bug diet of insects.
You're right. And you were telling me also something very, very true, is like this is the land of milk and honey.
Right.
So it's like not free milk and honey.
It's real milk, not re-milk. And, you know, as I say, it isn't even honest, because it isn't real milk. It sounds like for real. It isn't real milk. It's laboratory, gene manipulated milk, and
liquid.
It has health consequences if you consume it, but of course they don't even put that on the packet. Now, one of the things is, and many of you have been asking about this, what the situation in Israel is. Well, basically we're on hold. It's a bit like when you're playing your film in the evening and you put it on hold so you can go to the bathroom or make your cup of tea, or indeed a video in the old video cassette recorders or DVDs. it's put on hold. And basically life, Natalie, is on hold. And many people are saying there is a psychological toll of uncertainty in Israel. We're in an uncertain position. Israelis are enduring fear, fatigue, and uncertainty, anxiously awaiting America's next move on Iran. It seems that people are glued to the news to see what the next move will be and what it means for their future. And with what is called a ceasefire in Gaza, I didn't know there was a ceasefire in Gaza, but this is what the news media have been saying. We've also got a sort of ceasefire with Hezbollah, although I can't really see that. No. Sort of ceasefire with Syria, and a source of, as I said before, a ceasefire with Iran. The US has positioned major military assets near Iran, and speculation is widespread as to what's going to happen next. Well, one of the difficulties is, one of the functions of the human body is that it can stand when it knows something is going to happen, but it is more difficult when we don't know what's going to happen, when we are looking to anticipate danger and prepare for it, when the threat is unclear, when we don't know if something might happen or not. The brain goes into overdrive. It tries to fill in the blanks, often with catastrophic scenarios. The nervous system works overtime, scanning for clues, trying to make sense of an incomplete information. It is like running a marathon while standing still. Uncertainty is on top of exhaustion. For Israelis, the moment lands on top of more than 2 years of accumulated, I would say much more than 2 years, but since October the 7th, 2023, Israelis have felt a deep sense of uncertainty. The hard truth is that everybody is waiting, is put on hold, waiting for a decision from President Donald Trump regarding how the United States is going to respond to Iran. And this seems to be going on and on, Nathalie. Most assume the hardest part of a crisis is the crisis itself, but psychologically, the hardest part is often the waiting, a bit like waiting at the dentist. Even though you don't like to have your teeth done, maybe the hardest bit is to wait in the dentist's waiting room, anticipating what's going to happen. It's a suspended moment before a decision is made, and the mind can brace for battle, struggles with fear for not knowing what's going to happen. And human beings are wired to seek predictability. We like things to be predictable. One of the brain's many activities is that everything is in a predictable manner. But many people actually are saying they are tired to their bones. This is if you talk to people, Israelis, people who live in Israel, not just Israelis. Many people are very tired, they say. A fatigue that is emotional as well as physical. Common reactions to prolonged uncertainty, overexposure to news. People in Israel are glued to the news. People want to have news. I remember when we've had guests in the past who've wanted to know, is there a news, can they get news where they're staying? Emotional swings. People feel calm one moment and anxious the next. Difficulty in concentrating, worrying about the safety and future can impair memory loss and focus. So this is something that Israel is going through at the moment, and it's quite concerning really that we don't really know what's going on. But you know, one of the reasons the program, we call it Israel First, is Israel is first, not in the sense of being superior, but in the sense of leading, in the sense in the sense of giving an example, in the sense of if it's happening here, then it's going to be happening everywhere. So this is going to have a knock-on, because Israel is in this state of uncertainty. It will have a worldwide knock-on to all over the world where you're watching today.
And when it's like that, it's like we have really to throw ourselves on God and say like, okay, I'm trusting in you, because we know that I find there is the word, there is a say, they say, Tov umetiv. It means he's good and he's doing good. is benevolent. And so you have to throw yourself every time. And I know that many people and all of you, in one way or another, you find life not straightforward like it was before. So we have to throw ourselves on God, and it's like He's good and benevolent. So we know, and He knows, that He's a good God and that He's doing the best for us, that really the earth is going through a very big transformation, and this is before the final redemption and before Mashiach, before the Messiah come back, the Messiah. And so we are in this kind of limbo, but it's because He's making us looking inside of us. Where are you? And trust in me and let's go. I'm here and I'm leading you. He's leading us, even if we don't really understand, and everything is under His control. And very often we say that He's under the control of, the big wigs and all of that. No, it's not. It's under Him. He's allowing things, but everything is under His control.
And we're all waiting for the return of Messiah, the Mashiach, to come. And this is all part of the last days that we're going through, the birth pangs, that we are going through these times of great pressure. I think that's another word that's being used, that not just uncertainty and waiting, but great pressure. Well, one of the things we like to do to encourage you is the Hebrew language. We are in Israel, and Hebrew is the language, isn't it, Nathalie, of the nation. It's all the documents here are in
which is again
Hebrew.
Yeah, like you say, Israel first. It's like first to Israel. But we know that God is going to give it back. And I say many times, if you read in Zephaniah 3:9, it's written that He's giving back. When you look at the real verb, it's not that He's giving us, but He's giving back the Hebrew or the pure. It's not written, by the way, the Hebrew language is written the pure language. And the pure, He's going to give us pure lips. And one day I had just the revelation it was the Hebrew language, and I'm like, oh, am I thinking funny? And I went to speak with a friend who was Jewish, and she said, no, obviously it's the Hebrew. And I'm like, well, it's obvious for you, but it's not written, and I want to know. And one of the proof, which is amazing, one day, maybe I spoke already about that, we were doing a radio show in Australia and in Israel. It was quite amazing. And one man from America was listening to the program and gave me some information saying that Zephaniah 3:8, so it's just the verse before that one, that He's going to give us pure lips. And this was to serve God and to be in one accord, shoulder to shoulder. And so it's for the world again, okay? And he was saying in all the Torah, the only verse who has all the letters of the alphabet, okay, all these letters, the Hebrew letters, is the verse of Zephaniah 3:8, which is amazing. So it's like, again, it's like, God loves to play hide and seek with us. And He's saying, look, in that verse, there is all the letters, because I'm going just to speak to you, that I'm going to give it back to you. Just amazing. And so Eliezer Ben Yehuda, we spoke about him. He worked so hard, really, really hard, all his life. He died when he was 62. And he was reviving the Hebrew language for the people to use it every day. And now we are starting again to use it for learning Torah, to learn the Bible, to learn God's teaching, because He wrote it in Hebrew. And not only that, it's like, the Torah, what He wrote, and again, Shavuot is what just like in a few days is going to be Shavuot, which was the giving of the Torah by Moses, which is interesting because I'm going to speak about the letter M, which is Moses, Mem, and is the amazing gift from God, like He gave us cows, okay? But spiritually, He gave us the Torah, and the Torah is infinite. So when you learn something, I think I spoke about that last week, when you learn a subject, it is limited, but Torah is not limited. So He's giving us something that we can study forever and ever, because there is so many layers that we can always discover amazing things. So speaking about that, Shavuot, the giving of the Torah, was given by Moses, okay, Moshe in Ivrit, and this is the letter Mem. It's a 13 letter, and it has two shapes, okay. The first, this one is for normally, and this one is when it's at the end of a letter, of a word. And so like Maim, which is water, the Me at the beginning will be like this, and at the end it will be like that, it's closed. Again, amazing things about it is the numerical order is 40. 40, Moses was 40 years in the court of Pharaoh. He went 40 years in the desert. He led the Hebrews for 40 years. He was also fasting before receiving the Torah for 40 days. So you see, there is a lot of things. Beautiful thing also about these two letters. You have this one, which is open. The Mem is called Mem, by the way, is open. So is the reveal, Mem. And this one is the closed one. So we speak about the Messiah who is revealed, like Moses, who gave, who brought redemption to the Jewish people. God used him. And there is the other one, the closed one, which is Messiah, and is the one who is hidden, concealed. You said that also. Concealed, and is going to be revealed, and it will be in front of all the world. So this is just amazing. Another thing, also another level, is like 40, again, is the number for 40, is like when you think when a woman is pregnant, after 40 days, the fetus is, everything is ready inside of him. She just missed a period, like, like 1 month, and it's like, so it's 1 month and 10 days, and it's like, am I pregnant? Am I not pregnant? What's happening with me? But already the fetus inside of her, everything is ready for him to develop. So it's just amazing how God, again, has done the thing, and that he gave the power of creation to a man and a woman. Is, again, we can speak about that for so many hours, because it's just amazing how God has done the things. And also 40 weeks the baby is going to come. So again, you see the Mem, which is concealed, like the baby is concealed in the mother for 40 weeks, and then after he is revealed at the time after the delivery. And the delivery is not always easy, but then we forget about everything. And I think the world is going through that also right now, and is where we are going through. And it's very important for us to know that he's what he's doing. And Mem also, we were saying, is Maim Chaim. We speak about that, which is the living water. And Torah, again, Shavuot is coming, this Pentecost, and it was the giving of the Torah. Torah is like the living water, which is satisfying our souls. And nothing can satisfy our souls more than the Torah. And when you know about it, is like and interesting, in the Psalm 119, the very long psalm that David wrote, he said that my preoccupation is your Torah. And it's almost like my playing with the words and the letters is my preoccupation, because I'm pretty sure that he could see that a lot of things, like how the Torah is, there is many levels, and there is the normal level, and then God is playing hide and seek with us, and there is little letters sometimes and big letters very rarely, but it's like he means that he wants to say something to us. And for us, when you read the Torah, when you read the Psalms, is like water to our souls. And like right now, with all the things that's happening around the world, just pray the Psalms. You know, it's just amazing. It's like make you focusing on God. And you know, we always say, and I think it's important, I was speaking with friends and say, you know, we should, like the Jewish people, when they pray, they always put themselves bodily looking at Jerusalem or looking at the temple or looking at Israel when they are far away from Israel. And I say, we need to refocus too. Because why does people speak about so many things in the news is because the focus is becoming Israel, the focus is becoming Jerusalem, and the focus also is going to be the Bet HaMikdash, which is the temple, because God said, this is my place that I choose. And we are going to see more and more things about Israel. We are going to see more and more, I don't know if we don't want to have too much conflicts, but it's part of the game till Messiah comes back.
It's part of the interim as we wait in the different scenarios that are going to happen. And yeah, it's like the giving birth, going through the period of labor.
You're right, and you need to focus when it's like that.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. We love to have your company. Thank you so much to all the people who are supporting us financially. We appreciate that so much. It makes such a big difference to us. If you'd like to help us financially, then please do go to the website, to the donate page. You can also contact us at our email, and we will be in touch with you if you want to ask us some questions about the best way to donate.
Right. And we need to tell you that, you know, the dollar and the euro and the pounds is weak, very weak compared to the shekel. So every year is getting more difficult. So you just need to know that the shekel is very strong, and so it's difficult. It's more difficult financially.
Yeah, so you can get in touch with us. There's a lot of information, by the way, on the website. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. You can subscribe to our daily Substack newsletter. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Rumble channel. So go to the website, and all that information is available to you. And remember, we're the program that looks at the land, the people, and the language.